You're joining the Loudr Lawyer Network, the podcast where we sit down with the law firm owners, attorneys, and visionaries that are making the most noise in the legal landscape nationwide to find out the secrets to their success. Other podcasts think they're getting loud, but we're getting louder. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Loudr Lawyer Network, where we help attorneys scale to million-dollar months through powerful strategies and connections. And today, I'm honored to welcome Rose Harper. Rose Harper, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, thank you. There's a few things that intrigue me, and I'll get into those later. But take me back before you ever became an attorney or wanted to become an attorney. I saw that you were summa cum laude. Is that right? Is that how I say that? Summa cum laude, the highest degrees you can get at Mercy College?
Yeah, that's right. So I graduated college with a 3.9 GPA, but I really wasn't academically inclined when I was younger. My parents were in fact shocked. They arrived at my graduation and were like, "How did that happen? We never saw you do any homework." So I actually was a late reader. I didn't read well until third grade. And then I was a heavy daydreamer in middle school. So I was a late bloomer academically, I would say.
When you say heavy daydreamer, take me to that moment, daydreaming. I think I could almost relate to that.
Yeah, I was just like in my own head. I had a lot to think about and navigate, and I would just be making up my own world in my head, and the class would go by.
Give me an example of what your own world was.
Oh, like whatever I happen to be imagining myself doing, or, whatever topic I'd be thinking about. I mean, even now, like I don't watch TV. I pretty much am self-entertained, I would say. I read, I listen to worship music, and I think, there's so much time that's needed to properly think things through. We get like overconsumed with a lot of nothing that's pushed in our face in media. But yeah, like going back to when I was younger, I would just, I don't know, perhaps I wasn't intrigued by the class or something like that, but I would just be having my own thoughts, and then by the end of the class, like the teacher would write on the board what the assignment was. So I would just jot that down and do the assignment at night, and that's kind of how I kept up.
Very, very intriguing. So tell me, what led you to, so you're in college, you're at Mercy College and you're studying. What were you studying at Mercy College?
I actually majored in Spanish. At the time, my first son is half Ecuadorian. So I had my first son when I was a senior in high school, actually. I was really, really young. And his dad had immigrated from Ecuador at the age of 12. So I was always speaking Spanish with my in-laws, and I just fell in love with the culture. They're very family oriented, hardworking, their faith, the music, the food, the fun. So I really, really loved my in-laws, and I was always talking with them. Now, when I talk about it, I joke like, "Oh, I wanted to know what my mother-in-law was saying about me." But the truth was that she taught me how to cook. She was so sweet with me. Yeah, I really, really love them. So my first son is half Ecuadorian. His name is Carlos Andres. And so in a part of like, embracing that, I majored in Spanish. And one of my professors was actually a priest. He was a Spanish priest. And yeah, it was just a really great experience. I really enjoyed my time at Mercy. And I'm still an adjunct professor there now. I teach Intro to Communications, which is a public speaking class.
Right.
It's really fun, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're in school. You had your first. That's impressive. You said your senior year, you had your son.
Yeah.
And you went into school. That's huge.
Yeah. So I actually went to community college for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then
transferred. That's awesome. That's a beautiful story. So you're at Mercy College. Spanish. So you're fluent in Spanish, I assume.
Así. Yo puedo hablar un poquito.
Comprende español poquito.
Yeah. Siempre
Um,
me dicen que yo puedo hablar Spanglish. I speak Spanglish, a mix.
so Spanish and English together.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I understand that. So you're at Mercy. What led you into getting into law?
So, initially, I was actually on a path to become a teacher. My parents were really pushing me to become a teacher because then I would be on the same work schedule that my son had class. And also, they really wanted me to have that job security. And they just thought, I think they saw it as like a good path for me, which I understand. But I was getting convicted internally that that was not what I should have been doing. I was getting like really sick, like going to class. I just knew it wasn't the right thing for me to be doing. It was not the right path. And at that same time, some of my friends from Mercy who were in the honors program were going off to medical school, law school, and they were really encouraging me like, just because you have a child doesn't mean you can't go to a professional school or pursue what you want to do. Like if you think you want to do it, you should try. And so they were encouraging me. I was having this bad feeling that the master's in education was not for me. And then I had one aunt. I really don't come from a family of professionals. Most of my family members are union workers in the city. And most of the women do like admin jobs. But my mom didn't even graduate from college until I was in high school. And so her oldest sister was a lawyer in our small little town. She was not a businesswoman at all. Like, so I asked her if I could like help her in the office. I didn't even care if she paid me or not, but I went in there and it was just so amazing what she was doing. She was such a resource to the elderly community. They would call her with so many different types of questions and issues. And being a non-businesswoman, she would just say, "Oh, tell them to give me a few hours." She would spend time researching everything and then give them, the answers for free. But I was like, wow, this is so like, I love the fact that she's being challenged each day to look into something new. I felt like that could really hold my attention and interest and motivate me. And plus getting to serve the community in that way. I just thought, wow, okay, if she can do that, maybe I could do that too. So that really inspired me.
So that led you into going to law school.
Yes, and that's also why I am currently an adjunct professor at Mercy, because I want to, if even one of the students is thinking maybe they want to go to law school, but they're not sure if they can, I can be that real life person. Well, I went to Mercy and I went on to law school and now I own my own law firm. So the same way my aunt facilitated that inspiration for me, sometimes you need that real life in person experience or exchange to make you think it's possible for you too.
Okay, so when you first you passed the bar, and when did you pass did you pass it the first time?
Yeah, I did. I took it in New York and New Jersey, and thank God I passed it the first time because that was a huge risk for me. I took out hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans to attend law school. Some people don't even make it through the first year, they fail out, and then others don't pass the bar. So it was a huge risk taking this on. And I was able to pass the bar the first time in both New York and New Jersey. So I passed in 2013 and then got admitted in 2014 because there's a little bit of a process there. And yeah, so I've been practicing law. I took a couple of years off during COVID when I had my two youngest children. And I took like 3 years off to be with them. So that was really great. But life is fluid and it has seasons. And I think
it definitely has seasons.
That's like the other benefit of having my law degree is that I was able to pick right back up. Like as soon as I was ready to go back to work, I immediately had a job offers within a month of applying, and the law degree has done well for me. I love being a lawyer.
That's you just exude, and I looking at your story, I kind of, I did an acronym. I'll share it with you later, but
Okay.
oh yeah, no, it's and listening to you right now, I know it's spot on. So I'm thrilled. Um, take me to your first job in law. What was your first job in law?
So I started out my career on the defense side, actually, because my aunt passed away my first year of law school, and I had no connections to get a job. So my first job, even though I was a single mom, I worked for a solo practitioner locally who I was working part-time, no health benefits. And you know what? Are you able to hear my dog barking?
That's okay. It's part of the experience. Yes, I
Okay.
can hear him barking, but
Okay, so do you want me to try to see if I can get help with that really quick?
you can keep going. It's cool.
Okay.
If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me.
It's distracting me quite a bit, actually.
Is it? What kind of dog is it?
He is a King Charles Cavalier. He's the cutest.
Oh wow. So as you know, interesting things happen on the Loudr Lawyer Network. I've had cats come out of nowhere onto the screen. I'm like, oh, because we have a cat and a Shih Tzu over here, and sometimes they'll bark.
Okay. Well, if it's not my dog, it's one of my kids. I'm usually, honestly, most of the podcasts that I record, I end up getting some type of interruption. So thank you so much for being so gracious and
Oh
not.
man, I mean, you spending your time to be able to talk to me and share your story, which I think is a beautiful story. It's inspiring on many levels. Tell me what got you to go into personal injury.
Oh yeah. So that's what I was talking about. So the beginning of my career, I didn't have any connections. I started out with a solo, working part-time, having no health benefits. The next job I got was doing insurance defense work. So I started out workers' compensation, but then again, I got that conviction that I needed to leave my job. So this was my first big job. I have an office on Wall Street. I'm like, I made it. And I'm getting convicted that I have to leave. That I have
You're
to
on
leave.
Wall Street. Hold on. You're on Wall Street. That's the dream. That's the dream place to be. There's stockbrokers, there's CEOs, everything on Wall Street. You are in the center of the world, literally.
Yeah. And
when it comes to that. And you got convicted to leave that.
Correct.
Wow.
That's right. So I quit that job with no other job lined up.
What did you enjoy at that point? What was there? Obviously you're a star individual. I mean, in the workplace, wherever you are, in school, in work, that follows you. And the other thing that I noticed about you is your faith. So I know your faith is strong. Your faith is strong, and you're a perfect example of whatever the Holy Spirit has for you, whatever God has for you. Don't deny. Just flow.
Well, thank you for seeing that thread in my story. Although, to be quite honest, there's an equal amount and probably more of me being incredibly rebellious. And also, like, I describe it as like when you have a toddler and, like one of my kids, when they're a toddler, like, oh, I'm trying to get them ready to go to a party. Like, I'm literally trying to do something fun for you, right? And they're like, they're trying to like run away from me and get away from me. And I'm like giving me a hard time. I feel like most of my life was me doing that with God. God's trying to like bring me on this amazing path. And I'm like, oh, I want to do, whatever this is. And but there were moments in time where I did certainly accept the conviction and follow it. So I'm so, grateful for those moments and for the fact that, God never stopped pursuing me. And yeah, so I'm fully submitted to Christ now in my life in every single area. So I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so blessed for where I am and the responsibilities that I've been given. But just to go back to my path, so I gave up that job, and within less than a month, I had a job working 30 minutes from my house, making more money at a more prestigious law firm. And it was an amazing opportunity. I learned so much. And then I gave up that job to go in-house for Liberty Mutual, and that's where I got jury trial experience. So I had quite a lengthy time working on the defense side, and I feel like I was trained really well. I became really diligent and organized and strategic. And
It sounds strategic. So you went from being on the defense to working inside representing the insurance companies.
yeah.
So you have the layout.
Yeah.
You're seeing everything. You're seeing everything that you're representing now. These people with claims and things of that nature. Tell me
Yeah.
how that experience. Well, before we get to that, what led you to saying, okay, I think I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do this myself?
Yeah. So, like I had said, I took 3 years off. I got married. I had 2 more kids. We were moving around for my husband's career at the time, and it was during COVID. So I took 3 years off, had the 2 kids, got that time with them. Coming back into work, I realized, I don't really want to just like save the insurance company some money, and I feel like I already have the skills. So I'd rather help people and families. So that's when I switched over to plaintiff-side. And I was working in a law firm, and they were really great, and they were so nice to me. But I kind of just realized, like, I felt again that kind of
You got
conviction,
that.
like,
You got that feeling again. That feeling came over you again.
yeah, I
That's
just
what I'm
had to make
talking
a
about.
move.
But see,
So
whatever that is, that doesn't seem like it's your own thing. You're
mhm,
many would say it's a blessing to be receiving these jobs.
yeah.
You've talked about 3 incredible opportunities, and yet here you go again with that voice. And see, that's where I say that it's within us. You know what I'm
It
saying? And
is.
following that, because obviously it's been a blessing,
Yes. Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's so funny because my 4-year-old, like, she always asks me, like, "But, like, where is God?" Like, I'm like, "He's within you. He's in your heart, like, he's all around us." So, it's so true. Yeah, like, and that's one of the things I talk about too. Like, I just feel like even along this way of this path, this journey, this roller coaster that I've taken, my family and friends along, um, no one can know what is within you. You and God know it. So you really have to, be secure in that, and take the time to explore, like, what are your God-given skill sets and where does that overlap with what you enjoy, and pursue that.
Yes,
So I think that's really important.
it's absolutely very important. Um, so what led you to, I can do this. I could do my own. I could do my own firm.
Well, I was starting to kind of think, well, when I first got inspired to go to law school, it was my aunt serving the community, and she had her community of people that saw her as their legal resource. And when I was a part of a larger firm, it just wasn't that for me. It wasn't like people coming to me for me, it was people coming to the firm for the firm. And I really just felt like I was at a stage in my career where, I wanted to get back to that community-based, I wanna be the legal resource for people that maybe don't get a world-class service. So that's really my goal now. Most of my clients are Spanish speaking. I have a lot of moms. I have a lot of, like, adult kids
Mm.
who, even honestly, like, the police reports I'm getting, the police don't even bother to talk to them, or they don't believe their side of the story. So I'm able to really help be an amazing asset for them. I know this industry in and out. I know what it takes to get, a great jury verdict, and so they have me on their side. I'm gonna fight for them.
That's so awesome. You're in Allentown, right?
Yeah, so I live in Allentown now. I'm
I
from,
have a good friend. I know a few people from Allentown.
Okay.
Allentown, Virginia. Yeah, it's a very different place, but a lot of good people from there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of like New York transplants here, but I would say because I'm from New York originally, I grew up in the Hudson Valley and then law school in New Jersey, and I live in Allentown now. But Allentown's really great because I'm an hour from Philly, I'm an hour and a half from Manhattan. Allentown's really diverse. There's a large Hispanic population here. We love it. There's a lot of colleges. It's just a really robust community. There's so much to offer, so it's been really great to us. Yeah.
And that's very nice.
Mhm.
So you're in Allentown, hence you have the bar in Pennsylvania now. You have
Yes.
the bar in Jersey and New York. So you're across three states, which is that's rare. That's
Yeah.
rare. You've been blessed to, Um, tell me about your first hire at your firm. Your first
Yeah.
hire.
So my first hire actually was a woman who was potentially coming back into the workforce from being a stay-at-home mom for like over a decade. But she had a background in marketing and her husband was a lawyer. And I actually met her at a women's summit. So there was our Chamber of Commerce here in Lehigh Valley hosts an annual women's summit, and there's like 700 attendees. And I just happened to be sitting next to her at one of the speaker events, and we hit it off and we remained in touch. And then we met up to go walking. And I ended up having her help me my first year. I was doing some estate planning at the time. So I just needed some part time help to get that off the ground. And she was amazing. And we're still in touch, but her son's schedule picked back up with sports. I guess she was thinking like, oh, he's going into high school, so I'll have more time. And it ended up being like the opposite. He got really competitive into sports. She's like, actually, I'm driving like 2 hours each day, you know? So we'll see. Maybe in 4 years, she'll come back around. But that was my first hire. Yeah, someone I met in person at an event, and it was great.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
How has your firm grown from then? So you started your firm in
2024.
okay,
So I started in 2024. So I'm in my second full calendar year because 2024, I didn't really get going until September, I would say.
right.
And so I'm in my second full calendar year, and now I have a pre-litigation team. So I have like a senior case manager, I have a legal assistant, and an intake specialist. So we're growing, and we're a mighty growing team. That's how I would describe it.
A
And
mighty growing team.
yeah.
Mighty
Because
growing.
sometimes they say like, oh, we're a small team, but people are like correcting me like, don't say that. You're a growing firm. And it's true.
Growing.
It's exciting.
On
Yeah.
an average, what like how is business going for you? How do you go about marketing? How do you market? How does Rose Harper get her name out there? How do people know about her?
So just like most small or starting out businesses or law firms in particular, I'm pretty much 100% like word of mouth at this point. So it's just people that I know, personal network, other lawyers will refer people to me.
Yeah, because you have a story. Your story, I think, put right, could be a wonderful marketing tool for you because you speak well, you're very intelligent. No, I'm just saying, and the compassion shows
Yeah.
that you really care about people, like that you're on that side. I saw that you also deal with abused women and
Yeah.
different factors in the law field. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's really outstanding.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I was reading up on you, and I had here um, the acronym that I had for you. So based off everything that you're doing with your clients, do you tell me this? Do you remember your first personal injury case? Tell me about that case, and what was the result of that?
So when I started out with personal injury, I was at a very large law firm that was going nationwide. So immediately upon hire, I had like over 100 cases assigned to me. So to say my
Wait,
first
you Rose by
first
herself
100.
had 100 cases on your desk?
Oh yeah. Most of the large law firms, each associate attorney has probably 200 cases that they're overseeing at any given time.
And how many of those are are you just a settlement type person, or are you a person that goes and fights trial in the courtroom, telling the
No.
story, painting the picture?
So off of that caseload, I mean, it was a combination, and at that time I was handling New York and New Jersey, and I was covering depositions for other attorneys because I had the experience. Like I already had trial experience, and when I was at Liberty Mutual, I was doing depositions every day. So then when I was at the plaintiff's firm, I was probably doing depositions 4 days a week. Unless I had court, then I was in court a couple days a week. And I was in New York and New Jersey, and I had mostly Spanish speaking clients. And it was just, plaintiffs firms are like, you're working, you're busy, it's every day. And really just making sure that, my clients knew that I was working on their case, I was moving things forward, updating them, because I think a lot of the issues might come up when people don't understand what the process is or how long things can take. I think most people don't even think about what happens after a car accident unless you're in that situation. And then when it actually happens, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to navigate. The insurance companies are trying to deny everything possible. And sometimes you really do have to fight, like you said, get in there and fight.
Yeah, no, you have to go. So you have 100 cases.
Mhm.
What are you doing today? How many cases are you doing per month today?
My team handles a good number of cases, but I won't disclose the exact amount. I have a certain caseload that I maintain of active cases. Some are pre-lit, some are lit, and then I refer cases out as well all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could always use more business and growing to keeping that
Of
mighty
course.
growth.
Yeah.
What is the biggest myth about PI attorneys? You've been on different fields of it. You've been on the defense side, you've been inside the insurance company, and now you yourself are a PI, majority PI. I mean, you even came from the workman's comp world. What is the biggest myth about PI attorneys that needs to just die right away or be proven true, in your opinion?
There's still like this weird stigma about plaintiffs attorneys that like the ambulance chaser or that we're all just like greedy. Like I think a lot of people have really negative connotations associated with a plaintiff's attorney, but the truth is that we're we're giving all of our time and money and effort and skill. We might not win. Like, we're doing all of that up front for people who have been injured unjustly. They didn't cause the accident, but now they can't work, they can't take care of their kids, they can't afford to pay a lawyer, and so we're putting all of that, we're betting that we can win for them. And if we don't win, we get nothing, so I don't know. I feel like there's so much benefit to the community for what we're doing and the people that we're helping. As I've seen so many sad situations, like people who were a passenger in a car and needed neck surgery, and between both vehicles, there's only $15,000 covering the entire accident.
And what do you do in a situation like that?
You have to reach out to
What,
hospitals and see if they're willing to do the surgery with a scholarship through a church or something like that. It's really, I mean, there's sad things that come up. I mean, these things are still happening. I definitely, like anyone that I interact with, I'm always like, check your policy limits, check your policy. Do you have enough coverage where if someone hits you that has no insurance, that your policy will cover you for a surgery or something like that, So it's there's so much to it. But definitely one of the most important things is, even your own insurance company, like they're going to hire their own doctors to try to deny treatment that you need, to try to pay you less. and they'll hire attorneys to try to reduce how much they have to pay you as well. And they'd rather pay the attorney than pay you out money. And so when you're up against all of those factors, you need someone who understands how to navigate this and put you in the best position possible to be properly compensated for your injuries. It's not trying to get more than you deserve or anything. It's just like you were wrongly injured and you should be set back to, what you should have been with that. Well, like if the accident never happened,
Wow. The way you answered that, the way you phrased that, that needs to go right into a play for you. So we're in marketing. So when I see, you said that non-flinching, just straightforward. It was, and you can tell that you care,
Yes.
and those sad moments do happen in
Yeah.
accidents where there are things that you're tied to. And something else you put in perspective. I've been talking to interviewing attorneys and asking them that question. And the way you positioned it about taking all the risk, never quite looked at it at that fact. You're putting all your resources into providing for somebody. And if you had 100 people came and 100 people got denied, there you are fighting to stay alive as an attorney.
That's
The
right.
way you positioned that was well said. Well said, Rose.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So the acronym that I have for you is your name in your practice is symbolic of your practice. ROSE, restoring others through strength and empathy.
Love that.
Okay.
That's great. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's and I like I've only done it for one other attorney, and his name was Brett. He's in New York. Great guy. He's an attorney that really cares about Brett Harrison. He just really cares, compassionate about putting the human being first.
Yeah.
It's not about the numbers,
Right.
It's about the person.
Yes.
And what you just showed right there, there needs to be more Roses out there. There needs to be more Bretts out there.
Thank you.
In fact, a lot of the attorneys that I've talked to on Loudr Lawyer are that way. They're caring. They put the human interest above their own, and many of them are great storytellers. And you have to be a great storyteller in order to succeed. You just mentioned with every aspect of your life, you're with Christ. Well, he was the greatest storyteller ever.
Absolutely.
The parables that he uses that have lived throughout the ages and live and are alive today. And, it dawned on me not too long ago. I'm on my journey as well in my walk. And, I love talking to people. I love being able to help people and, get their story out there, because everybody has a story. You have a story, and growing the story. If a client is looking for you, they're going to want to know if they can trust you.
Yeah.
They're going to want to know all those things, that you're just not somebody who's got plastered up on the billboard or you're on the back of a bus, but what are you and what do you stand for? You know what I mean? And I'm saying what you just put together there was beautiful. And I saw that you have something coming up. You have a lunch and learn, like watch and learn, but lunch and learn. So you can eat and watch at the same time. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's so funny because I was reaching out to like some potential sponsors for that, and they were like, I don't get it. Why would you want to do that, like bring your competitors together? And I just don't see it that way. I think that the people who want to work with me will come to me, and the people who want to work with the other firms will go to them, and there's plenty of room for everyone to be successful and grow in their own way. And I just don't look at it that way as they're my competition. Like, I want to have community. I want to have community with the other lawyers in my area, and so that's why I'm doing it.
That's nice. So I saw also you're a fan of I had Jen Gore.
Oh, I love Jen, and Jen's my mentor.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah,
saw you. She's doing remarkable things. I mean, her
yeah,
stance, her no nonsense approach is beautiful. I mean, she's definitely a soldier in that field.
mhm.
And she's taking it, scaling it beyond and empowering, attorneys like you. So
Absolutely. No, I'm so grateful to be working with her, and exactly what you said, no nonsense. Like, she is the accountability person, and
absolutely.
yeah, yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Um, in terms of when you're out there, when you got a case, I know you had the referral aspect of things being
Mhm.
referred, but do you do any type of social media presence at all?
It's pretty light right now. I mean, I do try to record videos, like I'll batch record. So maybe like one Saturday a month, I'll try to record some content, like educational things, um, and post it up. But I wouldn't say, I feel like there are some people who are, really advanced with all of that type of marketing. Maybe I'm only my second full calendar year, so I'm still kind of in the stage where I'm growing. I definitely see that it's an amazing opportunity for people to connect. So I am interested in continuing to grow with that.
Yeah, when we're done, I want to talk to you about that, um, because what you stand for and who you are, that voice right now needs to be out there from where you are right now. It's
Yeah.
be you you're doing all the loud things. I was going to ask you, what does when you hear the term louder lawyer, what does louder lawyer mean to you?
I think of like Jennifer Lopez, let's get loud, like, let's do this. Let's get loud. Let's get out there.
Yeah, and I'm saying, but you're in the community. I'll tell you what you're a louder lawyer. You're in a community. You're having the lunch and learn. You're
Yeah.
being you're a mother, a wife, an attorney. How do you balance all that together? I mean, that's a lot. And you're sitting here. You look stress free.
Thank you. It must be the lighting. Um, I think, well, I think that it depends on what people think is balanced. And like I said, like life has seasons. And right now I'm in a particular season where I'm really trying to grow my law firm. And that's a really top priority for me. And there's been seasons where I was a stay-at-home mom, and that was a priority for me, and I wasn't working at all. And there were seasons where I was focused more on my academics, like in law school and college, right? And when I was younger, it was like my focus was, I don't know, looking good in sports or something like that. Like there's seasons of life where you put your attention and your effort, and your schedule reflects that, and there's a constant shift and adjustment that needs to be made in each season. So,
Right.
I can always change things, I can always adapt, and I think that just addressing whatever season you're in and aligning yourself with that season is really, really important. So just honor the season that you're in, and adjust your schedule and efforts accordingly when your season changes.
Wow. That was so poetic right there. That was poetic. That was poetic. If a younger Rose came in, what would you, if you look back at the younger Rose or an aspiring Rose that walked into your office right now,
Mhm.
from what you know today, what would you tell that young Rose or yourself back then, what you know now?
Don't worry so much. Everything's going to be okay, and focus on the skills that you want to learn, and everything else will fall into place.
Well said. Well said. So, if people want to get a hold of you, Rose, how do they find you?
roseharperlaw.com, or I'm on all the social media platforms. I'm pretty heavy on LinkedIn. So yeah, I'd be happy to connect with anyone who wants to chat.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you so much. It was such an honor speaking to you here on the Loudr Lawyer Network. Look forward to seeing your success and everything that you do. And
Thank
God
you so much. Yeah, I'm so honored to be here.
Yes,
Bye.
yes. Okay, hold on, and be right back.
Okay.
Thanks for being a part of the Loudr Lawyer Network. If you're enjoying the conversation, let us know. Give us a like and subscribe to never miss a thing. We'll see you next time right here on the Loudr Lawyer Network.